I have one thing to say, and one very small thing. First of all, my videos are not uploading. So I was taking a look. If man should get crowned as king, he would come here as king. But man does not come here as queen. Q, 1 through 17, if you total them up, it equals 153. P is 136, Q 17 is 153. This will equal 468. You have now put the brain, okay, into what creates 4 times will create man, 468 of this earth. They made us to be of this earth. Like I said in a previous video, the name of this earth, the maiden name, okay, the maidens in horse racing, different kinds of horses, different kinds of colts, a colt, a horse, a maiden, a stallion, different kinds of names. There are different kinds of meanings for different reasons that they say them, but whatever it is, we're daddy's little girls. The name of this planet, okay, Luna, in which Deimos and Phobos come to play. On Luna, the one heart, the singularity of Alpha lives in the heart. Is the singularity the odd one out? Is the little girl in your heart? Or is it the male that makes the want forever and ever inside of the male, in which we're all daddy's little girls? So, if we were made in God's image, God to this planet, wouldn't it be the girl? Isn't that what we're talking about? It's the female that brings the life. It doesn't matter what your sex is. Female is an expression. It's a word. It means what it means in its area that it is. Don't take it personally. Stop taking things so personally. We don't know what we're saying when we're talking. We can play with words so much. Anyways, the other thing about that is becomes Einstein to the cue ball, in which how many balls are in pool? There's 15, plus the white ball is 16. Count the 8 ball twice is 17. Count the white ball another time is, there's 16 balls. Then count the 8 ball again is 17. And then call the white ball again is 18. So we have 15 and 1 is 16. Okay? But we have to count the cue ball twice because 2 teams are using the cue ball. And we use the 8 ball for 2 different teams. So we're actually counting more than 8 balls. You can go 8 and 8 is 16. Right? I got 8, you got 8, that's your sweet 16. That's the reality of it. The cue. The other thing I wanted to mention is that Rubik's Cube, eggnog, my friends. Eggnog, my friends. 576. The face of man. The noggin. The words we use, the images we design that we cannot explain. I'm hoping to explain this image. This is one face of Rubik's Cube. There are 9 cubes on Rubik's Cube. 9 passages. 9, 9, 9. There's 81 in the face. But in the 81 in the face that you see, when you add up 1 to 9, you equal 45. If you equal 45 times 9, you have 360 plus 45 is 405. 405, 504, 5 and 4, 405. Come back to the sun, the fox. If you put 1 cube here and have 6 sides of 405, you'd have 2430, or 1230, or 0123, 2013. Because that's what you have in the total cube. 2, 4, and 3, not only 2, 4, and 3 of the total cube face, but 2, 4, and 3 and 486. Okay, 486, right over here, the same number we just used. What is 486? It's 9 areas, okay, times 9 cubes is 81. 81 times 6 sides is 486. In which on 486, you always have to minus one opposite side, because always one side will be sitting on its flat ass. And the wind will be blowing by his side, just like the horse's neck, and we will turn into spheres. We will look like spheres and turn into spheres, so when you see around us, you don't look square around, you look sphere-like around. So we would have 486 minus one side. The total of one side, which is 81, and 81 is Venus. 16 by 3 and 2 by 3, 162 back in the dog pounds. And eventually, somehow, this number is going to fit into the area of time, which is either has something to do with 1776. It might have something to do with 25,920. I don't know which page am I on. I'm so far all over the place. I did 2 videos and they didn't upload. Just before I go to that area, let's empty out this one. Here's time. 6, 7, 8, and 9. Never go over here. 6, 8, 7, 8, and 9. Never go over here. In fact, in this area, you never get past 2. It's 1 and 2, and only 1 and 2 that goes in this area. That's it. It's 2,359 hours. 1159. 81 by 83 by 3, 9 times 9 to the face, to the one face, because in each area there's 9 dots, 9 dots, 9 dots, 9, 9, 9, 9, that's 81. So if I take 486, if I take 486 and minus 81, I'll equal to 405 once again. Because you didn't have more than 405 to start with. The other extra that you had was the extra that you counted that you're no longer counting. Now you're taking it away because it wasn't yours to start with. I was counting the totality. It's like you got 4 balls and 3 strikes. You're either going to get 4 balls, 3 strikes, one of the 2. You're not going to get either or. If you had one of the 2, you would only get one of the 2. So 405 minus the 81 equals 326. Is that correct? 384. No. You become 324. The 9 lives of the cat, 3 by 3, the 24-hour day of the 3-day period of 72 hours, in which 72 becomes 1440, which is 1,440 minutes in a day, of 288 days to a cycle, times 1.25 equals 360 degrees, which is advanced by 1 degree every single time of 361 years. When you multiply 19 by 19 equals 361, that's 1 degree past the 360 degrees means you equal to 1 year, 361 years, which was started out as valued as Venus. 361 years advances you 1 year. So try and figure out how long it takes to actually make a real sky year. Okay? We had 4 sides. We could be working with 3 sides. If I worked with 3 sides of Rubik's, I get 45, 45, 45. No, let me see this. Wow. Wow, all of a sudden it disappeared on me. Well, this is really freaky. That page I just showed you is gone. You know why? Because it wasn't ever in the book. So if I went to a 3 area, okay, where I have one of these in 3 areas, okay, in order to create a triangle, a 3-sided triangle, I also need one on the bottom if we were losing flat pieces. So you automatically need 4 of these, in which 3 are on the side in the triangle, and you don't count the one from below. So 3 minus the one below is 2. You only have 2 sides equaling to a total of 90. But at the same time, if you had 2 of these sides, 45, 45, 45, it's 225, 450, 675. Jeff, the face of man, the 3 sides of a triangle, the reptilian triangular face, flat in the back, pointy in the front. 3 claws, 1, 3, and 5, says ace. So we have 675. Is that what I said? The total of the 3 faces, 225, 225, and 225, and 15 times 15 equals 225. Isn't that right? 15 times 15, and 9 times a quarter. There's something else that I did in here that came out to 945, which is 21 times 45. Okay, I'm not sure where that goes or what we're going to do with it, but 21 times 45. Is 945, and that's the area where we get into French and we say the word 945, but we're actually saying 4. Excuse me, it would be 90 point, cation. What I actually said is I said it's 90.45. The real answer is 900. But if I would say 900, I would say neuf, which means new, or neuf as the late area of birth. 945. The 45 is adding up 1 to 9 in a single cube. In which in a single cube, and I know this is confusing, in a single cube, if I wanted a single cube, the only place that anything exists is in here. If I put this one rod, I'll have one dot in area 5. And inside this rod, something will pass. Anyways, I want to skip out to that for 1 second. When I go this, and this becomes 135. This x becomes 270. This 270 is in another equation that I did, and it ain't worth crap because I'm not showing it to you because I don't know where it is or what I have to say because I have to look at it. But it becomes 270. 270 is 135. 135 becomes 675, half of half of half. 675 is that eggnog, the face of man. That trinity, what did I do with that trinity? Well, I was doing 3 sides, and it would be 45 by 9 is 360, and 405 times 3, well actually it's times 2 is 805. And however you would have 805, that's what it would be. Why? Because the value, face value, 9 per square, 9 squares is 81. But the 9 that you have in each square, when you add up 1 to 9, it automatically becomes 45. Now, if we add up the squares a little bit differently, 9, 18, 27. Well, we were on this one already. We don't have to count where we are, do we? Do we have to count where we are? Let's count what we don't have. But we do have this. So you only have 27 3 sides, plus your side. Now you have 4 sides. Now you would add up 9, boom, 18, 27, and the cherry on top, 36. So now we have 36. We're not counting the bottom, which would be 45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 36, 45. We don't count 54. We don't count 54. We ain't counting 45. All we got is 36. Let's start to create the 0 and the double 0. Jeff, 675, which is 3 by 2 1/4, which is 0 and 0 times each other. This becomes your 135, your 270, your 540, and becomes your son. Another thing that we have to do, whether we're doing a pyramid or a square, okay, I tend to do more of the squares because it tells the roundabout story. The inside story is hard to figure out because it's so round, right? Or I can't say that. That's not a fair statement by me. But if we do the square story, I need a cube here. I need a cube here. Now, do I need the face of the cube? Or do I need a complete cube here, 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 and here? I need a set of cubes here, and then I have to make the anti-world, so I have to have the same cubes there. Then I need a heart in each one of these cubes. So you're talking about thousands of dots because I have to work everything out of one cube to create the entire universe. 2, we've got 4 points, and then we've got 4 opposite points. So we have the 8 points plus the 1 in the center. We have a total of 27. We know we can't live with 1. We're going to have to make 5 of these. Just 5. That's it. We're going to work 5 of these. I'm going to put 1 in this corner, 1 in this corner, 1 in this corner, 1 in this corner, 1 in the center. Oh, shit. Now we need 1 up here, 1 up here, 1 up here, and 1 up here. If you want to see what it looks like, it looks like, hold on a second. Looks like this. This one goes straight up. This one goes east-west. This one goes north-south. This is what they call the 3764. This is the 1928. It creates your letter P. It's 2 different kind of star systems. But if you really want to look, they close the center box. See the way you're living off in one corner? Depending on what you really want to do with it, you can put the eye and make your bird. You can make a half-open mouth. But it's two star systems, and here's the box we live. Above the water of the beaver, the pipe going down, okay, can actually be the pipe going up, because I haven't figured out the system yet. Okay? And if you take a look, okay, you automatically create the R letter on each side, which is I call the candy wrapper. Now, I'm not really happy where I've gone so far, and I've told you so much that by creating everything, if you would use all the cubes, you would get 54 and 55 cubes. You would get 2 joker cubes that you would have to get, and 1 cube of expression that explains the game, and that might be the background of the sky, I do not know. But like I said, it's 225, 45, 45, 45. Is 135, 45, 45 is 225. So 225 and 135, each cube goes into it by 45. And 45 is a divisible of 25,920. And so is this a divisible. And I'm going to look at it right now. Okay? 576 of that word Jeff. This word Jeff times 45 of the value of this cube, in which the total came from the value of this cube. This comes from the value of this cube, multiplied by its cube value, equals 25,920. Now this video is worth it, because not only that, 486 also goes into this number. 324 vibration. The cat, the bad cat, goes in here. Why bad cat? C-A-T, cat is number 24. Bad is 2, 4, and 1. We're not inside of this. Not only that, another thing about 32, when we want to go into a world, the question comes like that. 1, 4, and 7 all belong into the 3 world of creation. But the 1, 3 times 1 is 3 equals 3.01. The 4, 3 by 4 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 3.14. 3.14 of pi, because what happens now is you multiply everything by 3 to bring it back to its own 1, 2, 3 sides for your pyramid. Okay? So you multiply the 4, because 147 will all recreate the number 3 after it's added up to a single digit as an addition, and not by a multiplication yet. 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is the situation, equals to 12. I'm thinking. 1 and 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 3. So 3, okay, is in the first level of 3. I'm thinking. 3 is in the first level of 3. Why did I say 3.14? Right. 3 was multiplied by 4, okay, equals to 12. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So it is in the first level of 3 and not in the 0 level of 3, because 1 in the first level creates its own self 3, so it's in the 0 level and was created by nothing. So what we did is we went to the 4. We went 3 by 4 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. That's the first level of 3. The first level of 3 is the 4, 3.14. Now, it could be a coincidence, and it only is a coincidence, because unless you know the whole simple system, most of everything is just a coincidence of a matter of fact of what you almost thought you did. So now we go 3 times 7. 3 times 7 equals 21. 1 plus 2 equals 3. That means we have now gone to 3.27. Now we had to go to 3.27, and we went to 3.27 because we started off in the 3 world. We multiplied by 3 times the second world, which is the 7. So we went into the 3 times the second world, which is the 7, equals to your 3. So this is how we get this answer. And 9 times 3 is 27. This is the U, this is the C. This is red. This is also Venus. And there's no other worlds. The only other world is 3.3. 3.1, 3.30, 3.1, 3.2, 1, 4, and 7. There is no other world. But in roulette, there are 4 worlds. So if I had to make the 4th world, in which one of the worlds which will overlap another world, making one world disappear, that would be 3.3, where the 3 is the same as the 3 that came back to mean something, but there's no other number. There's no other number. 1 to 9, that's it. There's no more. You want to go 12? We have another diplomatic equation. For the better understanding, we have to start thinking about how we're going to calculate to bring out an answer to whatever that answer is. It'll be the answer for whatever the equation was, and it's just a bunch of numbers. If you can use them somewhere else and you figure out how you got to that equation and for what reason you got that equation, and you get the next equation, if they can somehow match, besides not only the numbers, finding out the difference and giving a dictionarial definition between the two, understanding the difference and the similarities, when we get the same numbers, we'll have to classify them to the left, to the right, the center, to know the difference of the two. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I'm not even half done. But I did like that part when 45 times 675, which is part of eggnog, right? And when can the 1st of January, the first day of the year, why don't we call it October? Because in the first 9, nothing exists. 1 to 9, nothing exists. Forget it. Excuse me. 1 to 5. Before the first 5, there was nothing to duplicate, so you didn't know what the first 5 was. So the first 5 were nothing. So in the numerological areas that we calculate with 5s, the first 5 is always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you get to electric company, well, it starts to change, then M and N. Different areas get different numbers for different reasons, for different calculations, for a better understanding of the difference of the two items. Okay, so if the first 5 didn't exist, then maybe it started with the second 5. But since these hands are all in the air and your feet walk on the ground, they must know a little bit more soul. Heel to toe, point to tip. Heel to toe, point to tip. HTTP. So don't forget the hand where this might say 5, this is 6. Or this is 6. Or this is 6. Hello, 6. Are you calling me? Sure, I'm the one. Haha, I'm the one. Got it in my ear. You're not answering the phone. Are you answering the phone like this? Yeah, we're listening with the thumb now. Or should we be actually talking like this? Because 1 and 5. But they're actually, I finished this 5. This is 6 and 6. How should I remind you of that? Nothing, here's my pi. My decision of my mind to control my hands or to control my feet all comes from here. 243, 324, all the numbers of vibration I've covered. Number 45. How about this? Digital time. 8 and 8, 8 and 8. Which way do you want to go? It's a lock. What else did we do with this? The clock. What did we do with this? 3 times 3 was 9. 9 times 9 was 81. 81 by 81 was 61, 66. Back to the dog pounds. But don't forget, even in pi, during the week, the tomorrow morning is just like today. It goes around and it starts over to the same number. Everything is coming back to the same number. If everything is rounds, pi ends. Pi goes around to a certain number and re-begins. And no day is the same, because today is tomorrow. When it's tomorrow, it gets another number, so that number goes into your pi equation. It's never the same. For the last 100 years that you know about everything, no matter what day you go into the back, no part of pi will ever be the same for every time you move. There was one other thing, and I'm not really sure what it was, but inside the letter Q, if it does equal 153, and when we get to Z, it equals 351. Isn't that funny? Z and Q are both number 8. They both retain the same numbers of 3, 5, and 1, where Z gets 351. So where does 315 work out? Where does 315 work out? When you take the number of vowels in the alphabet off the leap year, you get number 315. So the leap year minus the alphabet is 3, 1, and 5. How so? 366 minus A, minus E, minus I, minus O, and minus U. And we don't need the leap year anymore. We have 315. But it all started at 288, 298, 308. 27 days. 27 leap from one Rubik's Cube to the next. Number 27 comes out. February 27th. Now I missed something. There was something in Hebrew about Chet and Tet. I don't remember what it is, and I know it has a connection. I know there's a lot of things that have connections. It's in my head, and I'm hoping to share everything. One thing, there was a hijacking. What I want to say about it is there was a clue inside that hijacking, and the clue was, first of all, it happened, they figured at 11:19 a.m., 9/11, and then they mentioned, let me see what they mentioned. They mentioned that it was flight 777-200, which is 977, which is the word pig. It's also Bell, which is the rat of the star, which is underneath the ground, because they bought over the television and entertainment network of this area, 977. The phone number also reaches AC power of creation of 55. 2355 is their station. Bell is 1111. Why is it 1111? Not only is it 1111, but it explains itself. 31, if you replicate it, 1331, okay? And then you get 2355. The 55th minute is on the 11 key of the clock. So this one is telling you, Bell is telling you. Now, why is it telling you? I don't know. Now, I just wanted to say one other thing about the flight. Let me see. I really want to look at it. Okay, I think, oh no, here it is. They said something about the flight, 777, 370, flight 370 debris. No. China, 19 families joined a statement. Then they said 20. That's S&T. That's definitely, it's part of Matrix. Okay? And 11:40, the phone rang. And then at 2 o'clock, the phone rang. These are all clues, cover-ups. Yeah, it's being flagged. The plane is being flagged. It's a red and blue plane. It's being flagged as a 10. Somebody's riding from inside. So it seems like it's been tagged, this plane. Now, I can't explain it. 370, 777, 20 passengers. No, I can't explain it. So what else did I want to go? The Hebrew leap year is 384, 385, 386 days. 85 silver matrix. 84 is Pluto. 86 is man's skull. Man in his skull, man, his face and his helmet. This is 386. 6 times 8 times 6 is 386. 6 plus 8 plus 6 is 20, and 386 is 406. 1 off the sun, 405. What does that mean? Well, you can look at it a lot of ways. It's monopoly, and then you end up on reading railroad. That's why we connected to it. It can be, the 0 can be, the 406, the 0 can be another 6. But when you already have 1 6, you can make it into an 8. But if the 0 is in the second position, and it meant the minutes or the seconds, nothing passes 5. So we would have to say that 406, in this scenario, is the first time I'm changing this 0. I'm going to put the 0, and I'm not going to put it at 1, because 0, 1 stick together. If 0, 1 stick together, 5 and 6 stick together. So all you have left over is 2, 3, and 4. 3 is in the center, so I'll automatically say 3. I'll say 436. And 4 by 36 is 1,440 minutes, and it says 1 day. So man's face is the expression of the helmet he wears for 1 day. The energy comes from the center of the earth or off the moon, in which we are able, inside our bodies and our earth and the air we breathe, okay, we can pick up new information that we need to, in order not to be zombies in the next day, which is instilled with every new moon that we get. Because don't forget, Luna is man's moon. We own her in our bodies. We use her. We set up our mind to think. We think with inside Demas. We don't want to mix up the 2 moons. Just like to feed the cow with the milk and the meat, you don't want to mix up the 2. One is for your body to live, and the other one is for you to decide and think. It gives you more freedom. If we attached the Mars moon to your heart, you would have less freedom. You couldn't do anything wrong. But they've not spliced. They're supposed to work together in 88, like the butterfly. But it seems like they're not. One wing is not working with the other wing. That's what I'm getting the vibration right now. I did not work on Solomon Square or Rotus, and that's a big question because I was reading this book, or I was going to read this book, and it's about who is Jesus. I bought it 25 years ago, and why in the world would I read this, and why in the book would it say this? And this is Barack Obama, all it is. This is 25 years old, this book. I've been on this thing for 50 years already. So there's so many other things. There's so many other things. There's also this Rubik's Cube. 9 positions on 6 equals 54. And in each one there's 9 dots equals 405. 405 times 6, if you had 6 of these. 6 sides, it's 2,430. 243, it'd be 2436. Is man's creation of one day. Creation. 29 days in the month don't exist, but 31 equals 54 in the sun. 486 is what we're back to. And we started with 486. The way was 486 divided by 486. Let me 486, 25, 9, 20 divided by 486 equals, no, that's not it. 486 is 243. I forget where it goes because certain things, okay, certain things are doubled up and you get your answer. Some things like number 74, you'll flip it this way and become 47. Or you'll take 47 and double it, it'll be 94. It was 74, but now it's 94. See the way it got, just like 23 will become 46. Okay, when you turn 46 around, it becomes 64. If you turn 23 around, it becomes 32. So we do this because that's how everything else is done. This system is perfect. The system is perfect not because it's incredibly perfect, because as they built it, they couldn't do what they couldn't do, so things had to be changed in order for the numbers to work. So once the numbers worked, they retained their number and they retained what their possibilities were. When numbers change or situations change, it's we've changed to a different gear, a different area. This package of numbers will work here because it was built to work there. These are blueprints, is what they become to be. They're all blueprints. The possibilities, the changes, it's what the system changed inside. The patterns. Now I'm almost half done with what I began. My coffee is cold, but that's okay. My obligation is my enjoyment in which I must share of where I see things that connect in the creation of the blueprints of, did I just say in the creation of the blueprints, in the blueprints of creation? I didn't really mean that, but it seemed like I did say it. So I'm trying to find all the I just want to go back. Oh, look, a string. Okay, I got the string. Where's the string going? I don't know. We'll go down the string and look at everything attached to the string. Hold on, the string is going to divide. You go that way, you go that way, you go that way, you go this way. When you call in, you give me the CB code 104. You call in, you give me the CB code 104. All right, now we're going to go down. Hey, the line ends. Of course the line ends. You want to know why the line ends? I don't know if I can mention it, but we're going to go down this way, this way, this way, and this way. 1, 2 floors, 1, 2 floors, 1, 2 floors, 1, 2 floors, 1. Always with 2 and 3 floors, okay? And the reason for this, one of the reasons for this is because there's something of 260 numbers, and it's rectangular, okay? And it shows the way the star goes all the way around, and then it comes from the bottom. So you only can fall so far in the area. It's almost like the incubator trays that are turning around each other where they overlap just a little bit. So we're you know what I'm saying? Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for letting me say this video.